Hi students, welcome to DS Economics channel. Today we are going to discuss 2023 West Bengal State Eligibility Test Economics Previous Year question. This is your part number 2. In this part we are going to discuss from question number 26 to 50 questions. So those who do not watch the previous part videos till now, they can watch in the playlist. I have given the link of the playlist in the description box. Also subscribe the channel for more such updates. So let's start today's session. So today's first question is, during a phase of deep depression, LM curve is horizontal and IS curve is vertical, or LM is vertical, IS is horizontal, or LM is horizontal and IS vertical and aggregate demand curve is horizontal, or LM, IS and aggregate demand all are vertical. So during the phase of depression, there are different phases of business cycle, you know. So during the phase of depression, means lower point, here LM curve is horizontal and IS curve is vertical. So option A is the right choice, because in a phase of deep depression, the economy is typically characterized by very low interest rate and high level of unused resources, especially labor. So in this situation, changes in the money supply have little to no effect on interest rate. So as interest rates are already near zero, so the LM curve representing the money market becomes horizontal. Here the LM curve is horizontal curve. LM curve is horizontal curve, indicating a liquidity trap where monetary policy is ineffective at stimulating further demand. So here LM curve is horizontal and IS curve is vertical. The shape of the IS curve is vertical. LM is horizontal and IS is vertical. So option A is the right choice here. Then come to question number 27, list 1 and list 2. So list 1 and list 2 question. First is Kenneth Arrow, D. Romer, R. Robert Lucas and E. Prescott. Kenneth Arrow, it related with endogenous growth theory. Yes, Arrow related with endogenous growth theory. Romer related with new Keynesianism. Yes, Romer, new Keynesianism. Robert Lucas related with new classical theory. Yes. Then Prescott related with real business cycle theory. So all the options are direct option 1, 2, 3 and 4. Option number A is the right choice here. Then come to question number 28. Using the usual notation, we can write the equation for an expectation augmented Phillips curve. Expectation augmented Phillips curve notation. Pi is equal to pi e plus alpha un minus u, or pi e to the power e plus alpha u minus un, or lambda n plus beta alpha beta gamma beta p minus pe, or un plus alpha pi e minus pi. So here right option is alpha pi is equal to pi to the power alpha pi to the power e plus alpha un minus u. This is the right notation for expectation augmented Phillips curve, because the expectation augmented Phillips curve captures the relationship between inflation and unemployment, considering expectations of future inflation. So this equation typically incorporates the actual inflation rate, that is pi, and the expected inflation rate pi e. So the unemployment rate u and the natural rate of unemployment, that is un. The coefficient of alpha represents the sensitivity of the inflation to deviations of unemployment from its natural rate. So option A is the right choice. Then come to 29. This is also a list 1 list 2 question. First one is group equilibrium given by Higgs or Chamberlain. Group equilibrium concept given by Chamberlain. ISLM framework given by Higgs and Hansen. Then quasi-rate concept given by Alfred Marshall. Then general equilibrium given by Walras. So A to B1, C for D3. Option number B is the right choice. Group equilibrium Chamberlain, ISLM framework Higgs Hansen, quasi-rate Marshall, general equilibrium Walras. Then come to question number 30. Consider the following statement. So options are 1, 2, 3, 4 correct option. 1, 3 or 2, 4 or 1, 3, 4. So first discuss this concept. First one is new Keynesianism consider rational expectation hypothesis and efficiency wage hypothesis. This is correct because new Keynesian incorporates rational expectation and emphasize ideas like the efficiency wage hypothesis to explain wage rigidity and involuntary unemployment. So this is correct. Then come to second option, new classical school considers rational expectation hypothesis and a possibility of unanticipated shock. This is also correct because the new classical school relies on rational expectations and acknowledges the possibility of unanticipated shocks which can cause short-term deviation from equilibrium. So this is also correct. Then third one is Keynesianism considers adaptive expectation hypothesis and absolute income hypothesis. This is also correct. Keynesian considered adaptive expectation hypothesis and absolute income hypothesis because traditional Keynesianism often assume adaptive and absolute income hypothesis to explain consumer behavior. So option 3 is also correct. Then come to question number 4. New Keynesian school consider ratex. Ratex means rational expectations. So rational expectation and coordination failure. Yes, this is correct because new Keynesian uses rational expectation and also explore issues like coordination failure which can lead to suboptimal equilibria. So option 4 is also correct. All the options are correct here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 all are correct here. So option A is the right choice. Then come to question number 31. The term informal sector was coined by. Informal sector coined by Karl Marx, K. Hart or Amartya Sen or D. Harvey. Informal sector given by Keith Hart. So Keith Hart, option B is the right choice. In early 1970s, so he used it to describe forms of employment that are not regulated by the state and often lack of formal job security or benefit, that is called as informal sector, given by K. Hart. Then come to question number 32. The turning point in the Louis P. Rennes model framework appear due to capital accumulation, increase in modern sector productivity or supply constraint or wage increase. So turning point in the Louis Rennes fee framework appear due to supply constraint because in the Louis P. Rennes model framework, turning point occurs due to structural changes in the economy as labor transitions from the traditional or agricultural sector to the modern sector or industrial sector. So initially there is a surplus of labor in the agricultural sector which allows the modern sector to grow without raising wages. However, turning points arise when this surplus labor is absorbed, leading to labor scarcity in the agricultural sector and consequently wage increase in the economy. So this is related with supply constraint. Because the turning point in the Louis P. Rennes framework primarily occurred due to a labor supply constraint when surplus labor in the traditional sector is depleted, leading to rising wages in the modern sector. So option C is the right choice. Then come to question number 33. The effectiveness of the big push theory fundamentally depends on the following. Big push theory. First one is planning process, expectation formation by the agents, governance or motivation of the agent. So these options all are related with big push theory, but we have to choose the most possible answer. So the big push theory proposed by Rosenstein suggests that large scale coordinated investment across various sectors are necessary to overcome economic stagnation in underdeveloped economies. So the theory relies heavily on the idea of expectation formation by the agents. So expectation formation by the agents, the belief that other sectors will also invest and expand, creating mutual demand that justify the investment. So here most possible answer will be option number B. But if we take other options, they are also true because planning process, while planning is essential for coordination, the core dependence of the big push is on agents' expectation about mutual investment rather than just centralized planning. So this will not the correct choice. Then governance. So governance, although good governance can aid the implementation of policies, it is not the fundamental factor on which the big push theory relies. Then motivation of the agent. While motivation is essential, but it is the specific expectation that others will invest that underpins the big push theory. So expectation formation by the agents, this is correct. This is the most correct answer, because the big push theory fundamentally relies on the agents expecting that others will also invest, creating a synergetic effect that drives growth. Without this positive expectation, agents might hesitate to invest, fearing insufficient demand for the products. Option B is the right choice. Then come to question number 34. Low level equilibrium trap occurs when rate of growth of output is more than the rate of growth of population, or rate of growth of output is less than that of population. Yes, low level equilibrium trap occurs when rate of growth of output is less than of population, because low level equilibrium trap introduced by Lenson, it describes a situation where an economy remains trapped at a low per capita income level due to high population growth, it outpacing economic growth. In this trap, any gains in output are offset by population increases, leading to stagnant or even declining per capita income. So option B is the right choice here. Then come to question number 35. Ricardian profit squeeze has been introduced in the context of development by. Ricardian profit squeeze has been developed by Louis, Notze, Liebenstein or Rostow. Given by Notze, because the low level, no, it will given by Louis model. Ricardian profit squeeze has been introduced in the context of development by Arthur Louis, because the Ricardian profit squeeze introduced by Louis describes a stage in economic development where rising wages begin to reduce profit in the industrial sector. In Louis model, economic growth initially relies on transforming surplus labor from the traditional agricultural sector to the modern industrial sector, where the labor is cheaper and profit are high. However, as the supply of surplus labor diminishes, wages start to rise, increasing cost for industrialists and reducing profit margins. So this profit squeeze limits further investment and growth as the incentive to invest decreases when profit shrinks. So the concept illustrates the challenge of sustaining growth once the economy reaches full employment in the traditional sector, highlighting a critical transition position in the development process. A Ricardian profit squeeze has been introduced by Arthur Louis. Then come to question number 36. Rational Fools is written by. Rational Fools given by Amartya Sen. Rational Fools given by Amartya Sen. In 1977 essay Rational Fools, a critique of the behavioral foundations of economic theory. So in this work, Amartya Sen critiques the traditional economic assumption that individuals act purely out of self-interest in a rational manner. So he argues that this narrow view overlooks other motivations like ethical consideration, empathy and commitment to others. So Amartya Sen emphasizes that a purely self-interested rational approach can lead to socially undesirable outcomes. Hence the term fools for those who adhere strictly to this rationality. It is called as rational fool, given by Amartya Sen. Then come to question number 37. According to Amartya Sen, development implies to be able to achieve a high rate of economic growth, to be able to achieve a high level of happiness, or to be able to acquire a large basket of commodities, or to be able to express and choose freely. Yes, according to Amartya Sen, development implies to be able to express and choose freely. Since concept of development focus on expanding individuals' freedom and capability approach given by Amartya Sen, it allowing them to lead lives they value and have the freedom to make choices So option D is the right choice here. Then come to question number 38. The selection of cricket team for the World Cup is based on selection for the cricket team for the World Cup. Random sampling? No. Systematic cluster? These are the sampling methods. In cricket team, we cannot select the cricket team by any kind of sampling method. So it is a non-probability sampling method. So it clearly visible that the selection of cricket team for the World Cup is based on non-probability. It is not based on probability. It is based on non-probability sampling. Then question number 13. The correlation coefficient is the dash of two regression coefficient. The correlation coefficient is the geometric mean, arithmetic mean, harmonic mean or median of two regression coefficient. The correlation coefficient is the geometric mean of the two regression coefficient, means r is equal to bxy into byx root. So geometric mean of two regression coefficient, option A is the right choice. Then come to question number 40. In a two variable linear regression model, the correlation coefficient between dependent and independent variable is 0.8. What is the percentage of variation in dependent variable explained by the independent variable? So correlation coefficient between the variable linear regression model of the correlation coefficient between dependent and independent variable is 0.8. So what is the percentage of the variation in dependent variable is explained by independent variable? That is 0.8 square. 0.8 square is equal to 0.8 into 0.8 means 0.64 means 64. 64%. So 64% of the variation in dependent variable is explained by the independent variable. So option B is the right choice. Then come to question number 41. Question number 41. Consider the following primal problem. Maximize z is equal to 2x plus 5y subject to x plus 2y less than equal to 4, 3x plus y less than equal to 6, then x plus y less than equal to 4. How many choice variable and constraint would be there in a dual problem? So just solve this equation. In a dual problem of a linearly programming model, the number of choice variable in the dual is equal to the number of constraint in the primal, and the number of constraint in the dual is equal to the number of choice variable in the primal. So this is the equation. So for the given primal problem, here there are two choice variable, one is x and another one is y. So choice variable are 2, x and y, and three constraints x, y, z. So thus in the dual problem there will be three choice variable. Here three choice variable, one for each primal constant and two constant, one for each primal variable. So three choice variable x, y, z and two constant, that is for x and y. So the right answer will be the three choice variable and two constant. Option A is the right choice. Then come to question number 42, list 1 and list 2. First one is multicollinearity, co-integration, robust standard errors, then stability of coefficient. Multicollinearity related with Jones-Said or Farrer-Grover test. Yes, multicollinearity related with Farrer and Grover test. Co-integration related with Johansen test. Then robust standard error related with White heteroscedasticity test. Then stability of coefficient related with Cusum test. So 2143 in the option number A. Then come to question number 43. Which of the following estimation techniques can be employed for the estimation of all identified simultaneous equations jointly? Limited information maximum likelihood, full information maximum likelihood, three stage, least square, indirect least, square. First one is question is which of the following estimation technique can be employed for the estimation of all identified simultaneous equation jointly. First one is limited information maximum likelihood. This is not for all identified. Then full information maximum likelihood. This is for all identified. Then 3-stage least square. This is also for all identified. Then indirect least square. This is not for all identified. So only option 2 and 3 are for all identified simultaneous equation. So option 2 and 3 only. Option B is the right choice here. Then come to question number 44. Box Pitts statistics follows which of the following distribution? Box Pitts statistics follows which of the following distribution? Normal distribution, T or gamma distribution, or chi-square distribution. It is Box Pitts statistics follows chi-square distribution. So option D is the right choice here. Then come to question number 45. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the average price if the present price index is 110? Present price index is 110. Then what is the average price? Regarding the average price, so the price has increased by 110% on an average, or the price has increased by 10% on an average, or price have decreased by 10% or decreased by 110%. So the right answer is the price have increased by 10% on an average because it is 110%. So the present price index is 110. It means that prices have increased by 10% on average from the base period, usually represented by an index of 100. Base period is 100, then the price have increased by 10% on an average, and then it will be 110. So option B is the right choice here. Then come to question number 46. If the expectation of a Poisson variable x is 1, then P of x less than 1 is dash 1 minus 2 into e to the power minus 1, or 1 minus 5 by 2 e to the power minus 1, or e to the power minus 1. So if the expectation of a Poisson variable x is 1 less than P x less than 1, then it will be e to the power minus 1. Option C is the right choice here. Then come to question number 47. The customer accounts for a departmental store have an average balance of 1200 rupees and standard deviation of 400 rupees. Then assuming that the account balance are normally distributed, identify the closest percentage of the accounts which have balance below 1500 rupees. 47. To find the percentage of customer accounts with balances below 1500, we first need to calculate the z-score of the balance of 1500. So the formula for z-score is equal to z is equal to mean minus mu by sigma. So here x is the value we interested in, that is x means mean, that is 1500, and mu means here mu means mean, that is 1200, and sigma means standard deviation, that is 400. So if we put the value here, then it will be 1500 minus 1200 by sigma or standard deviation is equal to 400. 15 minus 12 is equal to 3, means 300 by 400. 3 by 4 is equal to 0.75. So here z-score is 0.75. Next we can look up the z-score of 0.75 in the standard normal distribution table, or use a calculator to find it. So the cumulative probability of z-score of 0.75 is approximately 0.7734. So 0.7734, or just to find the percentage P x less than 1500, so 0.7734 into 100 is equal to 77.34%. So option A is the right choice here. Then come to question number 48. The level of significance in a hypothesis testing procedure is the probability of type 1, type 2 rejecting null hypothesis or accepting null hypothesis. The level of significance in a hypothesis testing procedure is the probability of type 1 error, because this represents the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. So reject when it is actually true, that is type 1 error, but accept when it is false, that is type 2 error. So here it is type 1 error. Then come to question number 49. Chi-square test is used. Chi-square test is used to examine the degree of deviation of the observed frequency from the expected frequency. Yes, this is correct. To examine the degree of deviation of the observed frequency from the expected frequency, we use chi-square test. Then chi-square test is used to test the closeness of observed and expected frequency. Yes, this is also true. Then chi-square test is used to test the population variance. Yes, this is also true. So all the options are correct here. All 1, 2, 3 all are correct here. So option C is the right choice. Then come to question number 50. Question is, consider the following two equation. QD is equal to A1 minus B1P plus C1I plus E1. Then QS is equal to A2 plus B2P plus C2W plus U2. Then and QD is equal to QS is equal to Q, where Q and P are endogenous variable, I and W are exogenous variable. State as per the order condition of the identification which of these two equations are identified. Only one, only two, or both are identified, or neither one and two. So to determine which of the equation is identified according to the order condition of the identification, we need to look at the number of endogenous and exogenous variable in each equation. So in equation 1, that is Q1 is equal to this. Here endogenous variable, that is Q1 and P. Endogenous variable is equal to, here endogenous variable is equal to Q and P. So in first equation endogenous variable are only Q1 and P. So two endogenous variable. In first equation two endogenous variable. Then in second equation and first equation endogenous variable are 2 and exogenous variable, that is I is the exogenous variable. So one exogenous variable. In first equation 2 endogenous, in first equation 2 endogenous and 1 exogenous, or 2 endogenous and 1 exogenous variable. Then in equation 2 endogenous variable are Q2, means Q2 and P, 2 endogenous. So in equation 2 also 2 endogenous variable, and exogenous variable is W is the exogenous variable. So here 1 exogenous variable. So in both equation 1 and 2 endogenous variable and 1 exogenous variable exist. Then we have to find out the order condition of identification. So according to the order condition, an equation is identified if the number of exogenous variables is at least equal to the number of endogenous variable minus 1. So this is the formula for equation 1. 2 endogenous variable are 2 and exogenous variable are 1. So condition is 1 exogenous greater than 2 or endogenous minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So this is satisfied. Then in option number 2 it will also 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So it is also satisfied. So both equations satisfy the order condition of the identification. So both 1 and 2 satisfy the order condition for identification, because order condition for identification formula is an equation is identified if the number of exogenous variable is at least equal to the number of endogenous variable minus 1. So exogenous variable is equal to 2 and endogenous variable is equal to 1. So that is 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So here it is, we can say, exactly identified. So as per the order condition of identification, which of these two equations are identified? As per the order condition of identification, both equation 1 and 2 are identified. So option C is the right choice here. Now this is all about for the today's session. I hope you get some knowledge from this video. If you are really benefited, then like the video, also comment in the comment section if you have any doubt, and also share with your friends so that all are getting benefited from this video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next part video. जय जगन्नाथ।